Revelation 1741. From the 17th of December 1940. Qualities of the soul in the hereafter. Desire for earthly good. The desperate situation of the human being, whose desire is only for the world and its goods, only becomes really comprehensible to him after his death. For what he now desires is unattainable for him, and yet the desire for it torments him unimaginably. The greed for it is far greater than on earth, precisely because it remains unfulfilled. He has no desire for spiritual possessions, he only strives to acquire what seemed desirable to him in earthly life and summons all these things in his thoughts. Such desirous thoughts are now also fulfilled, that is, everything he desires is there, however no longer tangible, but only in his imagination, so that his greed rises to the highest and yet always remains unfulfilled. These are true torments of Tantalus until he becomes aware of his desperate state and overcomes his desire, that is, until he realizes that he is chasing phantoms that remain eternally unattainable. Only then does he begin to think about the hopelessness of his state and consider the possibilities of change, and he now also finds support from the beings from the kingdom of light who first need that state in order to be able to intervene helpfully. But the desperate situation of a soul can last endless times until it finally comes to recognize it. And as long as it is close to earth it cannot detach itself from its known surroundings and therefore often transfers its own desires to weak-willed people of the same disposition. It seeks to stimulate them to do the same, which appears to it to be the only desirable thing. And therefore the prayer for such souls cannot be pointed out enough, which is help for them in the agonizing situation by weakening the desire for earthly possessions, and at the same time the soul feels the strength of such a prayer by now beginning to become thoughtful and thus can take the first step into the spiritual kingdom. The prayer for the deceased should always be directed towards the still weak will of the deceased and thereby provide them with the strength to strengthen this will so that it demands assent. Amen.